Here we have a 2010 10-plated Mazda 2, a 1.3 petrol, 5-door hatchback. A bit of a bumper scuff here. Generally the car's pretty tidy actually. MOT till March next year. 2 sets of keys. These are 2 previous owners. You can see the price of the window is $14.90. It's good value for a template, isn't it? Bit of a ding in the door, you can just see here. I'm trying to show it at an angle. Interior is nice enough. Alloys again in pretty good nick. Decent sized boot. A spare space saver wheel with dry boot. Again, the front seats all okay. Electric windows, CD player, air conditioning, auxiliary 12 volt. Vehicle's a manual. It's done 120,000 miles. 2 former keepers. All the service history for Mazdas is digital, so it's quite hard to track it down, but there is an invoice in here for the last service. So I've got one that was done at 113, so 7,000 miles ago I can see it was serviced in February 2020. There's a receipt in here. Well, I say a receipt, I realised after it's a quote for a clutch that was quoted August last year. So I don't know whether they actually got it done there or not, but the clutch feels new to me, so we'll have to put it down as the clutch within the last year, so it feels fine. It's just had an MOT with no advisories. Well, I say just in March, so it's done just over 1,000 miles since. All the old MOTs are here. Foot pack, other bits and bobs in here. 2 proper keys. Fold, got the remote buttons on them. One issue I would like to highlight on this, which is quite common on Mazdas, I've got another Mazda 2 here and I do so a lot of them, is when you play the steering, mainly when it's not moving, it's got a knock on the steering rack. I think it's in the rack itself because it wasn't mentioned on the MOTs. I've got a grey 57 plate there. This one's a bit louder, I must admit, but that one does the same. Probably the last 6 or 7 I've had, but don't take my word for it. Google it if you wish. I mean, it's quite common. When you drive it, it's not as loud, but definitely when you're stationary, it does sound a bit horrible to be totally honest. But it wasn't mentioned on the MOT, so it's not like a loose ball joint or something hanging off. It's in the actual steering rack, I believe. So bright little car. A few little marks on the alloys. You see to the top of the alloys here, we've got a bit of a mark. Worst part on the vehicle is that front bumper. Just scuffed it and took a bit of paint off of it. But all things took into consideration on the price, so got that for $14.90. Any test drive welcome. As I said, if that one isn't for you, I've got another one here, slightly older, it's got slightly less miles, but it's cheaper in value. Thank you for watching.